behind these mysterious drones? Senator Andy Kim of New Jersey posted several videos of what he saw flying over the New Jersey skies last night. No one in the government knows, or at least is saying, who's behind them yet, but they've said who's definitely not behind them.
There is no Iranian ship off the coast of the United States, and there's no so-called mothership launching drones towards the United States. At this time, we have no evidence that these activities are coming from a foreign entity or the work of an adversary.
Now, just because the government says they don't believe at this point that these drones are being operated by a foreign adversary doesn't mean they aren't concerning to the people who are watching them fly over their neighborhoods. Earlier this week, the spokesperson for the National Security Council said folks shouldn't be worried.
We have no evidence at this time that the reported drone sightings pose a national security or a public safety threat or have a foreign nexus. The Department of Homeland Security and the FBI are investigating these sightings, and they're working closely with state and local law enforcement to provide resources using numerous detection methods to better understand their origin.
The Pentagon also weighed in, saying they have not seen these objects flying in any restricted airspace, but if they start to bother our military installations, the military is going to engage.
At no time were our military installations or our people ever under any threat. And if they were, of course, the base commanders have the ability to engage these drones if they do pose a threat.
Several lawmakers have said they've been briefed by the FBI in classified settings and have said after hearing that information, they're confident that these drones pose no threat. The spokesperson for the National Security Council even suggested they may not be drones at all.
Upon review of available imagery, it appears that many of the reported sightings are actually manned aircraft that are being operated lawfully.
When you hear manned aircraft, you think of airplanes. But Senator Kim says that's not what he was witnessing last night. He says when he was out there watching things with local law enforcement by his side, they were tracking the things in the sky with a flight tracker app. He says oftentimes what he and the cops were witnessing in the sky did not show up on the flight tracker app. He said what they were watching was hovering or moving horizontally and then switching into the opposite direction. He said planes don't operate that way. Now, keep in mind, if these things, whatever they are domestic, there's nothing illegal about flying a drone or flying lots of drones. You obviously cannot fly a drone in restricted airspace or in no drone zones, but if you're following those restrictions laid out specifically by the FAA and your recreational drone is registered and under 55 pounds, you absolutely can legally fly a drone up to 400 feet in the air. But these things are being spotted in lots of places. Not just New Jersey. And local and state officials are demanding more help and resources from the federal government to deal with them. Here's the thing. Homeland Security has been asking Congress to do something about this for a very long time because Homeland Security doesn't have enough authority to conduct what they call counter-drone activities. They are urging Congress to expand those existing authorities so the government can easily identify and mitigate drone problems in the future, especially in restricted areas or in sensitive areas like around airports or other critical infrastructure. Lawmakers say they are going to be receiving another classified briefing on these drones next week, and several of them have demanded the FBI and the White House be more transparent about what exactly the government knows. In fact, New Jersey Representative Josh Gottheimer wrote this letter to Homeland Security, FBI, and the FAA demanding a public briefing about what's happening. Speaking of the FBI, if you have video of these things in the air, you can submit a tip to the FBI. You can just go to tips.fbi.gov. And if you want that link or if you want more information about the FAA's existing drone regulations, I'm going to email all that out to you tonight in my News Girl News Roundup email, so make sure you sign yourself up.